Be sure to subscribe and click on the bell for notifications on future uploads. Hello everyone, Bard here. Oh, you can call me Sully. It's the 4th of July, and for Disney's 100th anniversary, I'm going to review a film from them that takes place on July 4th, and it happens to be one of my mother's favorite movies. If you watched her top 10 favorite movies video I did weeks ago. And my thoughts on it are kind of different, but in a good way. First released on July 30th, 1986, it's Flight of the Navigator. Director Randall Kleiser has made an alright sci-fi adventure with fine characters, an alright story, and neat effects. First set on July 4th, 1978 in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, a 12-year-old boy named David Scott Friedman seems to not have much of a good life. From his little brother Jeff annoying him, being shy to talk to a girl named Jennifer that he has a crush on, and to his dog Bruiser not catching a frisbee. But that same night when going out to get Jeff home from playing at a friend's house, David falls into a ravine and later finds himself in 1986, still 12 and with no memory of where he's been for 8 years as his parents and Jeff have grown older and have been missing him. But a research group from NASA, led by Dr. Louis Faraday, have found a spacecraft and believe David and the ship are connected in some way. So David, under NASA security, is brought in for 48 hours to be examined, discovering that he's sending messages and star charts through the lab's computer, and of a planet called Phalon, where the ship came from, as well as hearing voices coming from the ship. But after learning he's to stay at NASA for a week from the intern Carolyn McAdams, who operates a service robot called Ralph, David ends up escaping the research center via the spacecraft kept in a hangar where the ship's computer named Trimaxion, or Max as David calls it, helps David out of NASA and tries to reach his family. All the while, David learns of his whereabouts from Max, as he's the navigator of the ship and Max needs the star charts that are in David's brain. I believe I first saw it on a tape VHS and I didn't know what to make of it then, outside of me remembering things from it, especially the alien creatures and that one-eye alien that I placed on my top 10 scariest Disney moments list for being a big jump scare then, but now I find it very tame. Although this little alien is pretty cute, even if the strings are a bit visible. But nowadays, I think the whole film is just fine. It has an 80s feel to it, especially with Alan Silvestri's music. The effects, even though some or most of it looks dated, is pretty neat. The hovering of the ship and its stairs look unbelievable as being physical objects. Even the inside is designed in a way where you can't see the camera or lights. Some of the humor got a chuckle from me. And there's little surprises involving what looks like a spacecraft, but is really something else like a frisbee, a blimp, and a water tower. And though the characters and actors playing them are alright, including Sarah Jessica Parker as Carolyn, one that I like a bit more is the late Paul Reubens voicing Max, or credited as Paul Mall. He does come across as unrecognizable when introduced, but does delve more into his Pee Wee Herman voice when he either tries to laugh, or after scanning David's brain, changing his scientific monotone personality into a fun, wisecracking one. But I do have a couple of flaws with it that aren't bad, but felt a little odd. The explanation behind David's age and memory felt heavy-handed, even when it's being explained, and even so it seemed forgettable. The ship could have had a better reveal instead of just a cut to it. Most of the character dynamics seem too simple. There's points that don't have much of an impact or conclusion, like David having a crush on Jennifer. There's a point where a Ralph unit comes in to pick up David, and I'm not even sure it's from Carolyn or the ship, because it could just be either one. And there's moments that seem rushed, like the ending, and the bonding between David and Max could have gone on longer, instead of what seemed like 2 days. But all in all, I don't dislike the film. I do like portions of it, and they still work for me. Yet I didn't get as much enjoyment out of it as I thought, and the flaws do reflect that. However, for a live-action Disney movie, it's very passable. 2.5 plus Mickeys. And that is it. So thank you for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Facebook or X, support me on Patreon, and until next time for a new video, and have a happy 4th of July.